If I 33 and can't be vulnerable with you, then what's the point? Let me ask you, are you in a relationship with a woman seeing each other? That's the point. This is literally all I want. I've been asking for this for years, maybe one day, oh well. There's nothing wrong with expressing how you feel. We aren't robots. It's another thing to express those feelings, complain every day about them, change your behavior because of it, go into a tantrum like a child, blame everyone else, and not have a plan to solve the issue. Thank you. People tend to overlook that issue in their relationship. To me, being vulnerable with your partner, especially after you marry, has to be right up there with love, attraction, compatibility, sex. Also, the other issue that people overlook is letting your partner in. That's so important. I don't think one can be vulnerable if you don't let your partner in, and vice versa. If both parties let the other in, acceptance, vulnerability, and love will take y'all to a level that most only dream about. So thank you so much for bringing vulnerable to the forefront. I hope the masses ponder these issues if they want true unconditional love. Good luck to everyone. Sounds perfectly reasonable when you have been together 6 months plus. But if those are the first things you say to someone, then not so much. Well, if you're worried about being laid off, I would hold off on buying a house for now. I couldn't agree more. We aren't in that era anymore where men aren't allowed to have concerns and worry about things. If a woman wants to have a man like that, then she needs to hop in her time machine and go back to when that was acceptable and expected. If a man can't tell me when he's having worse anxiety, then I don't want anything to do with him. I'd rather he feel he can tell me about that than have him tell me how wonderful things are all the time. Relationships are about balance, not the man having to constantly be strong because his woman can't handle him being human, even for a moment. Sometimes people only want vulnerability when it's convenient for them. Vulnerability has become a bit of a buzzword in the dating sphere. People say they want it, but most can't handle it because they can't even handle their emotions, much less someone else's. That's why you have standards, so you don't have to give a damn about such women. If I cannot be myself and vulnerable to my partner, the relationship is meaningless. Yeah, I'm not interested in vulnerability, so there would be no point. What would I do about your job or your housing status? Majority of women want a man who is emotionally available for them. Once it gets turned the other way, they are turned off by what appears as weakness and don't want to deal with it. Do you leave them open like that? Because it could be interpreted as you want to move in with them and have her take care of you and pay for everything, which would be terrifying if I had just gotten in a relationship with someone. Even if we had been together for a while, if you didn't follow those statements up with how you're planning to handle those situations, then it sounds manipulative, like you want or expect your partner to do those things for you, which isn't her problem to deal with. Ladies are probably over there thinking I'm too young to be a mom to a 33-year-old. Whether you like it or not, generally speaking, women are seeking stability and security in a partner. All other things equal, they want a strong, secure man. That is what it is, and it won't change. Contrary to popular belief, I think it is very rare that a woman will lose interest and attraction for a man for being vulnerable. It is weakness that is a turn off, and one can be weak and vulnerable or strong and vulnerable. In a very unrelated and physical example, imagine having to climb a cliff to get to food. Everyone going up the cliff is being vulnerable, they are putting their life on risk. But they are also being strong. But anybody not climbing and being afraid are being vulnerable too. They are showing their color, but they know that climbing might be deadly. But they are being weak, stopped by their insecurities. And I dare anybody here to find an example of a situation where you must be courageous that does not make you vulnerable too. Wait, women lose respect for men who talk about this mundane shit. Bro, how TF am I female? I would literally be like, bro, that sucks if my BF ever talked about having a slow day at work. How does that turn off someone? Like you're turned off by me simply making a comment about how my day was when you asked for it. That makes no fucking sense. My gender works at this like, bro. Men can be vulnerable. Men can have emotions. Women who think men shouldn't have emotions are fucking crazy, cause like men are also human, bro. Society.